Wouldn't it be amazing if your book marketing just kept working? Not because you're posting more, but because every action builds on the last. That's what a calm marketing flywheel does. It turns your rhythm into repeatable results. Hi, I'm Narelle Todd from Get My Book Out There, and I help women fiction authors create calm systems that sell books without burnout. Today, I want to show you how to turn your marketing rhythm into a simple flywheel that keeps your books visible and your sales steady, and there's no hustle required. When I first started with book marketing 13 years ago, what we found was that we were going from book launch to book launch to book launch, which was great because there's a certain adrenaline in a book launch and it's very exciting and everything is new. But what I also found was that outside of the book launch, there was nothing that kind of held together the sales for the backlist. And so marketing and sales for outside a book launch then became a little bit start stop, where we would do something, but then we would stop it because a book launch was coming. And as soon as the book launch had finished, we would go back. But in effect, we were starting from scratch again in the marketing of the existing backlist. So what I then did was decided that that wasn't a very good thing. We wanted sales from the backlist as well as from the book launch. And so I created a flywheel, which helped us then put a system in place so that everything kept turning and every action that we were taking with regards to sales and marketing built on top of each other. So what happens is most authors think that marketing resets after each launch. So what they will do is launch their book. The focus is on that. But it also means that the focus is removed off their backlist. So that kind of settles or stops. You may be running Facebook ads or Amazon ads, and they will run for your backlist. A book launch comes, all the money goes into the book launch, and then after the launch, you put it back into your ads again. But it's that kind of stop-start which really makes ads work harder than they need to and cost you more than they need to. And without the structure that you need, momentum dies and you start from scratch over and over and over again every time. And that gets really old really quickly. What we find is you don't actually need a bigger engine. You don't need to be doing more. What you need to do is implement a system that means that things just keep turning over and are there to support you, whether you've got a book launch on or whether you're just looking for sales for your backlist. So let's have a look at what that actually means. I just want to draw that out a little bit more. When you are doing a constant restart and there's inconsistent sales and fatigue, that all comes from not having a system in place. You may have a book launch checklist, for example, of all the things that you do for your book launch. Do you have the same sort of system in place for your backlist? And can it literally run itself without you there? That's the beauty of having a system in place. There are things that you can do to set that up, and in effect, it can only take a couple of hours a month to keep that running smoothly. And you think of the time that would save you and the fatigue, the loss of energy, that kind of riding the wave of the adrenaline rush, and then you kind of come down from that. And so that's what your energy's doing, and your sales, of course, are doing this too. So that whole peak and trough of both energy, of sales, of momentum really has an impact on your longevity as an author. These are some of the reasons why authors simply say they can't do it anymore and they give up what could have been a potentially thriving author business. I think the most important thing here, though, when it comes to the impact on your life when you don't have a system, is the impact on your creativity. This is the fundamental reason. This is part of who you are. Your spirit and your heart is your creativity. But what you find is that your creativity gets lost in the panic. You start to make decisions that aren't based on the work you've done with a business plan. They're not based on your creativity. It's purely based on you needing to make enough money to stay in business. And those sorts of decisions are not necessarily the right ones or the best ones that you can make for your long-term business success. So you will do things that are not healthy either for yourself physically, mentally, or spiritually, nor for your business. And I really struggle when I see authors who lose their confidence in their creativity, who that creative spark disappears simply because of the panic, because they're not making the sales they need to keep their business afloat. So these impacts have real implications for each author as you move through this part of the journey. So I'd like to introduce you to the author visibility flywheel, which is the flywheel that I put together for marketing as a result of all the years I've spent with book marketing and seeing what does and doesn't work. And we've spoken about this in the series so far, but in this one, I want to go through it with you in a little bit more detail so that you can understand what is possible when you have a system in place for your business. We have three main blocks within our flywheel. One is clarity, the other is confidence, and then consistency. So I want you to imagine that you are going through a cyclical process, and we're going to start with clarity. So this is where you're clear on your business model, you're clear on who your reader avatar is or who your reader is. You're clear on what you're writing, you're clear on what you want to achieve with your business. You have that clarity to create these wonderful books, to create experiences for readers that are part of the book. So you've got your books and you've got your experiences for your readers. We then move into confidence, and this is the confidence that you have to go out and sell your books. The confidence that you have a system in place that steps you through what you need to do and when you need to do it, why you need to do it so that you understand all those things. It allows you to put a system in place that makes marketing easy and also without the hustle. So what it means is that you know what you need to do on each day or each week. You know the steps that you need to take to move your business forward. And from that, there's a sense of calm that you get, like you get to actually lower that internal voices saying, oh, you need to go and do this, or this is the latest tactic that everybody's doing. This is the one that's going to save your business. This is the one that's going to bring money into the business. When you no longer have to worry about what those voices are saying and you know with calm and with certainty what you need to be doing, there's a certain confidence that shines out of authors who come from that kind of position. And that's the position that I want you to be in, that you know what you need to do, you understand why you're doing it, and you can see it happening, and you know that each time you go through this process and you keep going through the flywheel, each time you do that, it builds on it, the momentum builds, and it gets easier and easier. And you can see the things that you need to do. You no longer get distracted by all the things you think you should be doing because you know what you need to do. And then our last point is consistency. This is where you're showing up consistently. You are doing the things that you need to do because you've got a system that allows you to know what you need to do on any certain day or any certain week. So there's a real sense of knowledge, and there's a real sense of you being in control of your business rather than your business being in control of you. You're the one taking action now. You're no longer in panic mode because you know what you need to do. So when you create this cycle that has clarity, it has confidence, and it has consistency, it feeds on the next. And your momentum grows without extra effort. Actually, you will start to wonder why you have so much time on your hands. It's a real phenomenon, and I see it all the time with the authors that I work with. Inside your signature Get My Book Out There marketing system, I show you how to build your own flywheel. I go through it step by step so that you know what you need to do. You've got your foundations in place, and that helps you then build your marketing and your sales on top of that so that you can create these consistent sales months. Look, one of the benefits of putting a system in place, and I know that just sometimes the very word system is enough to freak some people out. You don't want to be constrained. You don't want to be tied down to a certain thing. The beauty of creating your own flywheel is that you are actually creating something that works for your business. You are taking the principles of the flywheel that I give you and you are applying it to yourself and to your business and how you want to work. So in effect, it's not like a noose around your neck that's holding you back or constraining you. It's actually something that's going to release you to be more creative, to put in place marketing that works for you, that sells your books and gives you your time back. That could be time that you use to write. It could be time to use to spend with family, travel a bit more, go and enjoy things more. The financial security that you know about your consistent sales, so you know you've got money coming in each month. This is what happens when you put a system in place. I should say here, put the right system in place because it needs to be a system that works for you. If it doesn't work for you, then regardless of what label we put on it or what's inside the system, it's something that it needs to work for you or it's not going to work at all. So the freedom for you to focus on your life and to focus on your writing really is what this is all about. I want you to stop chasing the next shiny wheel. There's always going to be one of those. This is now where you are going to start to build momentum, and you're going to do it because you have a system that works for you, that spins quietly in the background, whether you're releasing a book or not. What we're doing is creating a system for you to have in place that just works through, it spins through each time. And it builds the momentum that you need to reach more and more readers so that you can make more sales. So what I'd like to do is invite you to come and have a look at your signature Get My Book Out There marketing system and see if it's a system that will work for you. I'm here for you. I'll answer any questions that you have about the system and how it will work for you.